All right, Sunday night, prep work. Coach Micheal Burt, hope you're doing great. Just finished a session over with my coaching students in Monster Producer. I do private coaching for them. Every single week I coach on Monday with my students. I coach on Sundays. We archive those and put them in a very special protected video online course system for all of our people that are in our coaching programs. And it's Sunday night, so I thought I would come to you tonight, see what's going on with everybody. For all of our people that are in our coaching program. As you join us tonight, I like doing these Sunday night sessions because they're relaxed. People can ask questions. Chuck McDowell, my brother. People can ask questions. They can make comments. Basically, what I'm trying to do is get you in a forward posture to tackle the week. A lot of people say defense wins championship. Offense wins games and defense wins championships. This is what some people said. Folks, I was a championship coach for over a decade. Okay, 7 conference championships. Did I win 7 conference championships? 7 25-win seasons, 4 conference championships, 1 state championship. And here's what I would tell you: offense don't win championships. Defense don't win championships. Offense does. You got to score enough points. You got to put enough points on the board. And points in the business is revenue. The purpose of a business, Peter Drucker said this, is to produce a customer. Okay, so I see so many people all day long that do things that has nothing to do with producing a customer. All right, so tonight we're going to be talking about a very specific thing, okay? And the very specific thing is if money changes hands when problems are solved. And if the bigger the problem, the more money people pay to solve that problem. The question really becomes, what problem do you want to solve? And who would write you a big check to solve that problem? Now, it could be a lot of people that write you a small check that turns out to be a big check. Could be you serve just a few people, Dawn. But this is a very important thing. This is actually called the fundamental relationship. And the relationship is between your talent and skill and your ability. 9 out of 10 people, Chuck McDowell, can't tell me what their talents are, by the way. They can't tell me what their skills are. They can't tell me how they're uniquely qualified to solve a problem for another person. And this is why this is very important. This relationship between your skill, or what would be called a demonstrated capacity. Now, if you read the parable of the talents in the Bible, Peter O'Neill, a talent in the Bible was a sum of money. 1 talent was worth $360,000, 2 talents, $720,000, 3 talents over $1 million. And the master came to each person and gave each person a sum of money based on their abilities. And he said, take this money and bring it back with interest. Go do something with it. And if you read the story, the people that went and did something with it and brought it back with interest, he said, well done. The master said, well done, good and faithful servant. That's the only place that's in the Bible. Okay, nowhere else is that in the Bible. Okay, well, here's what he's saying. I'm going to give each one of you a sum of money based on your ability. I want you to take this ability, I want you to take your ability and do something with it and bring it back with interest. And everybody that took it and did something with it, he said, well done, good and faithful servant. And he said, I'm going to give you some more. More ability, more opportunity. The one who said, I didn't do anything with it, I hid it because I knew you to be a hard man. We don't want to talk about what he said to that person. Okay? So here's the point. When I look at this, I want to use 2 words, demonstrated capacity. The ones that showed a demonstrated capacity to use the skills they were given more opportunity. Okay? So listen to what I'm about to tell you. Just because you can solve a problem does not mean that's the problem you are supposed to be solving. Right? And I was a high school basketball coach for over a decade. I loved every second of it. I always felt there toward the end of my career like I was a level 10 person stuck in a level 4 vehicle. And I could solve a problem. I could win championships. I could continue winning championships. But I said, man, I want to solve a different problem. And for the first 4 years, Pastor Ken, of my business coaching, I spoke. And from the speaking engagements, I'd write a book. I'd go out and speak. And from the speaking engagements, Caitlin, I would get coaching assignments. And companies would hire me to come in and basically get more out of their people. That was my demonstrated capacity. I'm going to take your team who was the Alabama football coach? Paul Bear Bryant. He said, I can take my team and beat me, or I can take your team and beat you with them. And I would go in there and I would take their team members, for the ones who were willing and the leaders who bought in, and I would help drive more results. Okay, it's very taxing, relatively exhausting from time to time, especially when the leaders weren't on board and people weren't coachable. And I asked myself one day, is this a problem I want to solve? Okay, is this a problem I want to solve? So here's the question. As I begin to write a book, thank you for all the people, by the way, who commented on the book titles that I wrote. See, I got about 25 book titles that I'm working on. I wrote a book this weekend called From A to B, a simple structure to help you get total clarity of where you want to go. Probably be 30, 35 pages. I'll self-publish it. I'll use that book as a lead generator and to market for my high net worth program called What's Next. But when I'm writing a major published book, it takes about 2 years to write that book. I got to get a publishing deal. Then I got to write the book. So I was really asking for people's opinion on, out of these books, which book title do you think is the biggest problem? Okay, Screw Your Why is counter culture, counter to Find Your Why, or Start With Why. It's controversial. I get into how your purpose finds you versus you find it. 87% of people say they live their entire lives and never find their purpose. It's a big problem. Go Pro. How many people live amateur lives but want to make the pro money? The 1%, the top 5 habits of the top 1% of performers in the world. A lot of people like that one. Here's one that surprised me. Package Your Purpose. How to find, package, market, and monetize your brilliance. Okay, Codify Your Genius got very few votes, although I think each of you are geniuses. We just got to figure out a way to package it up. So here's what I'm really trying to do here, guys. I'm trying to market test what's the biggest problem that strikes the biggest chord with people. Remarkable Boldness, by the way, got some votes, but it didn't get as many as I thought it would get. So here's a question for you this week. You got a talent. You got an ability. If we go back to the Bible, you got an ability. The talent was a sum of money. You have an ability. It's unique to you. You've got a demonstrated capacity in something. Okay? Something brings you energy. Something fascinates you. As Sullivan said, it both fascinates and motivates. You could wake up for the rest of your life and do it. It's a problem you want to solve in the world. You are uniquely qualified to solve it. There is somebody out there who's got a big check who would say, boom, solve this problem for me, and I'd be happy to give you this big sum of money. And quit thinking in terms of they got to give it to me on the front end. See, I'm going to take 5 coaches, 5 speakers that are doing $250,000 to $1 million. Okay, so if they're doing $250,000, they're doing $20,000 a month, something like that. Okay, if they're doing $1 million, they're doing 83,000. Okay, was it 83,000 times 12? Okay, something like that. So if they're doing $1 million, I want to take 5 coaches who speak, coach, train, lead that are doing $250,000 to $1 million, and I want to mentor them over the next year, and I think I can help them get significant increase in their business. I think I could take $100,000, $250,000 dude and get him to $500,000, maybe $1 million, maybe more. See, that's a problem I would like to solve for people. Okay, taking young coaches who are doing well, get them up in that $3, $4, $5 million range. Right? That is a problem I'd like to solve, that I'm uniquely qualified to solve. Okay? So, this is the question for you this week. All right? What's your skill? What problem? Who would write you a good check to solve this problem? Are you a turnaround expert? I see Jeff Breeden on here. Congratulations on winning in NCAA tournament. Jeff Breeden at MTSU, one of our best students, is racking up the wins in that NCAA softball tournament with Middle Tennessee State University. Okay, are you a turnaround expert? Do you know how to win championships? Do you know how to sell? Do you know how to connect? Do you know how to build operational excellence? Do you know how to free people up? Do you know how to solve big problems for people? Do you know how to make an immediate impact on somebody? What do you know how to do, and what problem do you want to solve? And sometimes it's not getting paid on the front end. So what I'm going to do with those coaches that are doing good is I'm going to say, look, there may be a small fee to me each month for my time, but I want a percentage of the increase. I went to a coaching company doing $25 million, J Cash. Listen to this deal. They got 117 coaches. They're doing $25 million. I went to them and said, look, turn those 117 people over to me. Let me coach them for 1 year, 2 years. I think I can get them to $50 million. I would like 35% of the upside. That's eight or $9 million to me. It's 17 more million to you. There's no downside here, okay? Zero downside. They still haven't done it. Okay, so when somebody comes to you and says, look, man, I'm going to get you to 20 million or 30 million, it's no downside to you. I just want to help you. I just want a percentage of the increase. Maybe a low monthly fee for me to show up every single week for my 31 years of experience, but it would be nominal in comparison to the amount of freaking money we're going to make together. Okay, so I see people, this is why I posted this morning, guys, closed, fixed mindsets, you can't help. They never expand. So just move on to somebody else, okay? So I'm going to say it one more time, and then we're going to get off here. And then I'll share some things we got coming up. And I'm coming to Canada, I think next week. I'm flying there on Memorial Day. I'll be there on the day after. Full day with me. If you live in Toronto, Canada, you're going to want to be there. Come spend a full freaking day with me, okay? And I got some big news coming up this week. For Memorial Day, I got some special planned for everybody. So be on the lookout. We're going to start dripping and dropping some things. Here's the question. What's your skill set? What's your problem? And how do you move the needle? And how do you move it in a way that other people would gladly go, here you go. That was incredible. Because all the people who've really helped me move the needle, it hadn't bothered me at all to write them a nice check. Okay? I'm Coach Micheal Burt. I've got Person of Interest coming up on June 1st. That should be a must for every person who watches me, okay? If you have not gone through Person of Interest with me, come on. What are you doing? Person of Interest is how you drive leads, become known, become renowned, become celebrated, become famous. Don't matter how good you are until people know who you are. If you have a desire to speak, coach, train, write books, make millions of dollars speaking and coaching, you need to go through the Micheal Burt School of Speaking, Coaching, and Writing. That is June 2nd and 3rd. Okay, Christopher's gone through it, who's just joined us. I got coaching certification. You want to get an inside with Coach Burt? You want to see how coaching business works? You want to master content? You want to learn how to do it? Go through the certification program June 6th and 7th. And I'm coming to different parts of the country. I'm going to be in Canada next week. I just booked a deal in Denver. I'm going to Mexico twice. I typically post where I'm coming to. I'm going to Phoenix with Andy Elliott. He's a freaking stone cold killer in September. I'm doing something with Renee Rodriguez, who does Amplify. We're going to do that at my lodge. I'm doing stuff with some of the coolest people in the world, man, because I handpicked those people. Why? They're all open. They're all hungry. They're all humble. They're all teachable. And they all want to play at a higher level. So you guys have a great night. My name is Coach Burt. Rebecca, doing something with you, too. Rebecca, couples retreats. Okay? If you want to get your couple aligned, living with the monster. Okay? So we're doing stuff with some of the best people in the world, guys. Okay? I want to do something with everybody who watches me. So let's figure out how we can do something. All right? You guys have a great night. Everybody needs a coach in life. Love you guys. Thank you. I owe you. Have a great night. Let's have a hell of a week. All right? See you guys.